I'm Hillary Barsky for Good Morning America Now. My guest is Dr. Randy Pausch. I have to say, you look terrific.
Oh, thank you.
When you walked in, I've never met you before. You're very handsome, and you look very healthy.
Well, your makeup people did a good job.
No, you're a handsome man. I have to tell you, you are. And how do you feel?
I feel physically quite good. I'm still doing some chemotherapy, and that gives me some fatigue. The tumors have not yet progressed to the point where they're compromising my liver, which is where it's spread to. So the disease itself, at least for now, isn't giving me any ill effects. And it's a little bit surreal to walk around, because I was sick for a very long time. I took very aggressive chemo and radiation, and I was very, very ill from that. And so now I have the industrial strength version of how if you have a really bad flu for a weekend, and then on Monday when it's gone, you just feel like, hey, let's go jump over a tall building because I can. I had that flu and much worse than that flu, for about 10 months. So I'm living this incredible corporal feeling of this is wonderful, and that's made it a lot easier to deal with the news.
When did you find out, how long ago, Randy, that you had pancreatic cancer?
It was just about a year ago, and most people with pancreatic cancer, I mean, it is a hideous disease. Most people who are diagnosed with it die within a couple of months. The lucky ones of us are candidates for surgery because it's found early enough, and that's just usually luck, as it was in my case. And I had a surgery. Dr. Herb Zay at UPMC Medical Center in Pittsburgh did an absolutely phenomenal job. And has been phenomenal throughout this, and he stitched me back together. He took out a third of my pancreas, all of my gallbladder, a third of my stomach, and a couple of feet of small intestine. So the fact that I can eat it all is just incredible.
And prior to getting this diagnosis, you and I were talking about this off the air, you led a very clean living life. Very healthy life.
I never drank. I never smoked. I exercised like a fiend, all of which were very beneficial when I had to go through this, because I was in great physical shape for the surgery, and they were able to give me all this aggressive treatment. So it wasn't like living my life well wasn't beneficial when the bad luck hit. But no, it's, we all stand on the dartboard of life, and 30,000 of us are going to catch the pancreatic cancer dart. And the truth of the matter is that there are some things where you can help your odds a lot, and there are some things where lifestyle choices aren't going to matter that much.
No.
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about, gee, I'm going to die, because that's not very productive. I'm not in denial. I assure you I'm not in denial.
Are you afraid of dying?
Fear doesn't strike me as a particularly relevant response to it. I don't like it, but for me, fear and anxiety are wrapped together. The things I fear are the things that I can't control, and I don't know how they're going to turn out. Weirdly, I know how this is going to turn out. And there was a lot more anxiety when I had a 1 in 3 chance of beating this. I woke up every day saying, gee, am I going to live a couple more months or 30 more years? And that's very anxiety producing, because you're not quite sure how to lead your life. As strange as it sounds, now that I've got an expiration date stamped on my foot, it gives me great clarity of action in how to spend my remaining time. I mean, there are very hard trade-offs, and the pressures are incredible, but the way to make the value determination is pretty easy. If it's good for my wife and kids, I do it. What I tell my wife is, I'm not afraid of death, but I'm not real keen on the dying part. It turns out the way I'm going to die, the doctors are very good at euphemizing, but I'm a scientist. I know that I have tumors growing in my body that are going to press on my internal organs. I'm not looking forward to the very last stage, and I do spend a lot of time wondering, how do I mitigate sort of the logistical and emotional impact on my wife and kids? And that's just all tactics. That's, do we do hospice in the house or away from the house? And as the time comes, we have been blessed with tremendous experts to advise us in all aspects of this, and we'll continue to lean on their advice.
Do you get angry?
That's the thing. I really thought there was going to be a point in this process when I went out in the backyard and took a baseball bat and just beat the crap out of a big tree we had back there. And I think if this had happened 10 years ago, I'd beat a lot of bark off of that tree. But somewhere along the line, and I think a lot of it was when I met my wife, and then we had these 3 beautiful children, somewhere along the line, anger stopped making sense for me. And I've had the occasion to meet a lot of angry people in my life. And one thing I noticed is that anger almost never makes things better. Sometimes it makes them feel better in the short term, but if you're really a problem solver, yelling at somebody rarely solves the problem. And if it does so in the short term with tremendous long-term negatives for them and for their image of you, and sort of in a karma sense for the whole world. I've never been a fan of anger, and I was raised in a family where, my mom and dad were married for 50 years, and they had an incredible marriage. And I don't think I have a single memory of my entire childhood of either of my parents raising their voice. And it's just not something I was raised with. And I'm not saying I've never yelled, but I haven't found anger useful, and I haven't gotten angry yet. I'm not saying it won't happen. I think when the physical pain returns, that'd be a good time to see, how hard can I keep squeezing the lemons, right, to get the lemonade. But right now, when I feel this good, all I want to do is use whatever time I got in whatever way I can to make things better for the family. And if I can help literally millions of people by sending them a message, taking a little bit of time to do that seems prudent too.
And your message, lessons of life. One thing that you can impart on all of us today, Randy, what would that be?
Well, the thing that everybody seems, it's interesting, when you give a talk, you have sort of these, 10 or 12 things in it that you think are the hot points. And it's always fascinating as a speaker to see what people resonate to. And it's very clear that the thing that everybody has resonated to from that talk is, the way you get to see the best in others is you just be patient. If you wait long enough, no one is all evil. And all you have to do is wait long enough, and the good side will show itself. And that's a life lesson that I learned fairly late, and I'm really glad that I did, because it has just come true. And sometimes you have to wait years. You have to be really patient, but instead of the onus being on them, why don't you stop being a bad person? You can't change other people. It puts the onus back on you. Well, what can I do? I can be patient. I can wait knowing that the good side will show. And so I think that's the one thing that everybody's been tweaking to. And if I've found a new way to phrase what's really a very fundamental value, then I'm thrilled to have done that.
Well, I am thrilled to have met you. And we thank you for joining us this morning. We know this is very difficult to talk about, and we thank you for sharing your story. And we bless you and your family. And we thank you, Dr. Randy Pausch, for joining us this morning on Good Morning America Radio.
Thank you.